Det må gerne komme i hvad det hedder, i restaffald. Også stadigvæk, der er meget plastik endnu. Med min tagvejl der.
Siamo soffiati.
Bravi ragazzi. Sarà contento.
Giuseppe!
During the last couple of weeks we have been trying to decide which kind of windows and doors we want, and now we've come to the decision that we want windows and doors made with wood. The decision doesn't on paper or doesn't seem very hard, because aesthetically for an old Italian stone house you would go with wood, but the only problem was that the plastic windows, they're half the price, so that is what made the decision difficult. But we ended up saying, for the aesthetics and the looks of the house, wood is gonna be the best option for us. Even though plastic windows nowadays, they make this kind of plastic that actually looks like wood, but the thing is, I would know that it isn't wood, and when you get up close, you can also see it quite easily. I don't know if one day I'll get even better at that. But I wanted to say that because we had the window guy up here yesterday taking the final measurements, and I found out that I'm not at all ready for the windows, because he needs the floor to be done, and that's one of the things that I had planned to do. I didn't have planned to do for quite a while, because I wanted the windows in before we put in the doors and the windows, so that they couldn't get any cats, insects, and anything inside while the floor was curing. So that just changed my plans a lot. Now I suddenly have to do a lot of jobs first. Varnish on the roof, I need to finish all the concrete lines, plaster them, and finish the concrete shelves, and put up all the 4x10s on the walls, ready to insulate the place. I need to build the framework for the bathroom. There's a lot of things I need to do before the floor can be poured, and then I figured out you can't stand on it for 20 days when you have the floor heating in the floor, so that gives me a long break where I can't work in here, and that's quite a bit frustrating. I also need to put up the attic up here, so that's also something I need, and I need to varnish that so it all matches in colors. So what I want is to get all the dirty work done, so I will not damage the floor. So that means, yeah, all the things I just mentioned. So I'm just gonna start on the concrete lines with the plaster, cover them up. Those concrete lines we also have outside, and which I turned into shelves up here, and the one next to the roof up there. So that's the job for today. It would be nice if we could pour the floor just before the baby, so I would naturally have 20 days where I could help Stina, help out my wife a lot with our newborn, and then I have also time to focus on the olive harvest and just the garden in general. Gives me a working break, because I want the floor to be perfect. That's about it. Now I need to cover the concrete lines downstairs. I'm practically done upstairs. I just need to give the lines and the shelves up there the finishing plaster that makes it white so it matches the outside. So now I'm gonna work on these two, and here I'm gonna hack out some and then stick up the installation cable so that I can have an outplug, not an outplug here, but so we can put a lamp here, because I think it's gonna get, even though we have a lot of windows and the skylight windows, it's gonna be a bit dark here during the winter. So we have a lamp over our dinner table. This is practically where we want to put the dinner table. So that's gonna be the first task of today, in the journey of getting done so I can pour the floor and get the windows in. It looks to me as if there is some hope of me having tomatoes. Chances are that they're gonna get eaten again, but I'm happy to see tomatoes on the plants again. Would be very satisfying to eat some tomatoes we farmed ourselves. An okay finish, I would say. It's gonna look even better when I get this leftover stuff that's on the natural stones off. So it's nice and square. It's gonna be a nice contrast to the raw wall. I think I've had a great idea. My wife actually also likes it. I just suggested it to her an hour ago. But it's because that I've been trying to figure out how to plaster this part, the top of the doorway here. But I figured out I want to leave it as it is, so we can actually see both what we have covered up outside and inside, all the ugly old concrete. So that's just to leave sort of a mark of what the house's core is. And part of the core of this house is these concrete lines, so I think it'll be fun to leave this part open and then get all the dust off, and then there's these kind of products you can put on so the dust gets bind to the concrete, and it just gets stronger, so it won't like decrease, like degrade like it does right now. So that's an interesting solution, and we can tell people when we have guessed this is how it looked. Well, a week where I had to change my plans a little bit, but still got some stuff done. I plastered towards the roof up here on the attic, which really finishes the look off very nicely. I can't wait to see it when I put on the white finishing plaster, how it's gonna look. So yeah, it's been a lot about plastering this week. I also prepared the rebates for the windows where you're gonna mount the windows towards, so you have the rebate all the way around. I removed the scaffolding because I'm finally done with the lean-to roof, which is nice to get out of the way. This part of the plastering lines gave me a bit of extra work because I needed to prepare where the lamp's gonna get the power and the power outlet, but I'm happy with the result. I found the outlets and the place where the lamp's gonna get the power from behind the plaster, so it didn't give me too much problem, and they didn't move like they did with the cement, so they are in the same position where I put them. So yeah, I'm gonna continue plastering next week, the concrete lines, leave this part as we decided, but continue plastering so I can nice and steadily get all the dirty jobs done, so I can pour the floors as quickly as possible and then get the windows in. That's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.